Hey, welcome back to the scenery farm. So I'm just doing a domino hole that I can use as a reference. This is an old domino, or not domino, loose tenon. I'm making loose tenons, and I was shown how to do this a while ago. Maybe it was the mid 90s. Not for a domino, but for another machine. But it's a loose tenon. Whatever. So I'm just measuring the hole, and I'm measuring the domino, and I'm just figuring out the tolerances. Taking a piece of flat sawn lumber uh, so that later on when I cut it up, it'll be quarter sawn. So I'm thicknessing down this maple uh, to get it to the point where it is gonna be pretty darn close to the width of the domino. And yeah, that's all there is. This is my SCM 2250. It's got a 20-inch cutter on the thicknesser and a 20-inch cutter on the joiner. It's a nice machine. Needed a bunch of tune-up. I'm unplugging the machine here, but I'm turning on the machine's unplugged, but I'm turning on the vacuum. What's happening is the tilt on the bandsaw as I register to 0, it wasn't quite registering. I figured some sawdust got in there, so I'm just blowing that out so I can get the machine to register to a 0 or 90 degrees from the bed. Moving to my thin kerf rip blade, and I think what am I? Oh, I know what it was. I lost my 5/8 inch washer. I must have knocked it off the edge of the bench. So I have a few. I have the cup washer that comes with it, but when I go to a thin kerf blade, the blade's too thin to the threads stop on the arbor. So this is me plugging it back in. I'm able to turn on the dust collect without having the saw plugged in. Not sure what I'm actually up to there. Oh, right, I'm getting my sled. And instead of jointing the edge in case I want to take off a bunch, I have this sled. These dudes here are, I can't remember what the hell they're called. You mount them on the fence, and when you push things along, they pull them into the fence. Essentially, they're guides, table saw fence guides, I guess. They could be your fence guides. You can use them on a router table. At any rate, these are the Amazon Deweys. And I have set those guides to register on the top edge of this jig, and this jig basically with T-tracking holds the wood in place. I get the dust collect over there, so there's a little bit of protection, and then I turn her on, and then I square up the edge of the board so it'll register against the fence nicely. And once I get that one done, I flip it so that the face that's going against the fence is faced on the right side of the correct side, so it'll be up against the fence. Now I just figure out, I get it as close as I can with my fingers, I readjust the fence, and I square up the silly thing again. So that'll just, I think everybody gets, you can't use a squirrely edge up against a table saw fence. And I'm done with that Dewey. Jackson's just hanging out. He likes it in the shop, wanders around. He's a good boy. It's getting to be winter. That's the kindling. Goes near the fireplace. And yeah, so this is me now registering these Deweys. I love this thing, these guides, these fence guides. I've always been decent at keeping it up against the fence when I cut through, but now it's even less of a thing to think about. I didn't. I just decided I wouldn't be able to use a push stick for this cut, and use these guides. So I'm just doing it the old-fashioned way with no guides, and there's not enough room to use my guard and that thinness up against the fence. So I'm running without a guard, and I've been thinking of creating a guard that registers to the left-hand side of the blade, and it almost has like a swing back guard like you would on a jointer to put for these instances. I might make one of those just because these cuts are necessary, and I've never known a guard that won't allow you to do that. That will allow you to do that. So I'm just jointing down the width of the board to get it to the right thickness so it goes in the hole. It was approximate before. Once I get that dialed in, then I just take down the two blanks so that they are the right width, so that they can be made into loose tenons. Yeah, I'm taking down that original template one, and I'm double checking that I'm in the right zone. Not sure I was. I might have to take it down a bit more, but no, I was. Cool, cool. And then I'm doing the rest of these cuts. And yeah, I use the push stick to kick the wood out of the way on the left hand side so I don't have to reach in or reach over the blade because badness ensues. This is me. The thickness was real close, but it wasn't perfect. I've done a round over and I've done a test fit with this already. I'll show you how the round over jig works in a bit. But this is me just deciding to turn on the dust collect so that the thickness sander doesn't, kill me as quickly. And these are the rest of the sticks I've made. And I'm just running them 3 at a time through so all of these will be consistent thickness. I think Jackson's at this point. He's kind of like, I want to play with my frisbee. Come on, let's go play with my frisbee. Dad, I'm bored. When I get these done, it's nice. He comes by and says hi. He's a good boy. You're a good boy. And okay, that's me just setting up the guides for the right height so that it keeps the tiny wee stock against the fence. I moved from my thin curved blade to a standard combo blade. And the standard combo blade, this one has 1 square tooth out of 5 on there. Or is it 2? Whatever. It's got a square tooth on there, so it squares up the end of the hole. And I'm bringing this down so I have like 1.5 mm, 1/16 or so, sticking up from the bed. And now what I'm doing is I'm cutting a kerf a certain distance from one edge, and then I flip it, and then I flip it, and then I flip it. So that I have a kerf on the 2 long faces, or the 2 wide faces. I have 2 kerfs going on each face. The glue in the loose tenon has to go somewhere, and when Howie, the head carpenter back in the late 90s, showed me how to do this, he just kind of said, yep, glue's got to go somewhere, Curly. And so that's what I'm doing. And I've seen a bunch of these videos on YouTube. That's me showing what the final look is. It's the round over with a couple curves. This is the jig. It's got a little extension, so it's the same height as the stock of the domino. And then a little stop block at the end. I use my bench dogs to hold this jig in place. Now you can see on the other side, there's a 1/4 inch one. And so now I'm just rounding over all the edges. I'm tuning in the fit. I cut it down a little thinner. And there was a couple bumps in there I'm just getting rid of, but essentially I tuned in the width because when the round over goes in it's different. And then this is just taking all these down to their final width, and I'm just using the previous one as the following one's push stick. And with these fence guides, which I gotta say I'm really enjoying, in place. Oh, that's me being stupid. Did you see that? I moved the fence right into the side of the blade, and I have a shiny bit there now. Oh well. I just edited out a swear word. Oopsie. Anyways, so I'm putting all those in there, and then once I'm done this, and I've got all these 4 kerfs on on the 2 wide faces, then what I do is I bring it over to that round over jig, and I round over both faces, and I have a whack of hardwood. This is maple, a bunch of hardwood loose tenons that I can use, whether I'm using a router jig or I'm using. Essentially what I'm going to do now is I'm going to round over all the corners of these blanks, and then I'll have a stack of loose tenons. But I had to go back to real time because important things are happening. Jackson's like, okay, I'm done. You're going to come play frisbee with me. And then I go, okay, we got to play frisbee. Let's go. Okay, but dude, when we leave, watch the camera. Don't hit. Oh, okay, hit the camera. All right, okay. Well, it's all right. Everything worked out because Jackson got his frisbee, and then I threw the frisbee, and then look, he got it. He got, oh, sugar boy. And he brings it back. Oh, yes, he does. Oh, he's happy. Well, let's throw it one more time. Bye, everyone. Take good care.